In the heart of the ancient, sprawling old forest, a small owl named Oliver lived with his family high in the hollow of a grand oak tree. Unlike his larger, stronger siblings, Oliver was the smallest and weakest. With his small frame, big round eyes, and soft brown feathers, he was often overlooked and underestimated by the other animals in the forest. Oliver's family loved him dearly, but they worried about his future. His mother, Matilda, often coddled him, while his father, Orion, tried to teach him the ways of the forest. Despite their efforts, Oliver struggled with flying long distances and hunting for food. The other young owls, including his siblings, excelled in these areas, leaving Oliver feeling left behind. But Oliver had a unique gift, a keen sense of hearing. He could detect the faintest rustle of leaves or the softest whisper of the wind. This ability, though unnoticed by others, made Oliver special in his own way. One autumn evening, as the forest was cloaked in the golden hues of falling leaves, a strange event occurred. Animals began to disappear without a trace. First, it was a family of field mice, then a group of young rabbits, and finally, a pair of hedgehogs. Panic spread through the forest as fear and uncertainty gripped the hearts of its inhabitants. A council of the forest's elder animals was called to discuss the mysterious disappearances. Wise old Badger, the leader of the council, spoke with a grave tone. "We must find out what is happening to our friends. If we do not, we may all be in danger." Orion, representing the owls, volunteered to search for clues, but he doubted his youngest son could help. "This is a task for the strong and the brave," he said, casting a worried glance at Oliver. "Not for the weak." Oliver, feeling a surge of determination, stepped forward. "Father, let me help. My hearing might be useful in finding out what's happening." The council members exchanged doubtful looks, but Badger nodded. "Every pair of eyes and ears is valuable. Oliver, you may join the search." Oliver joined the search parties, his sharp ears constantly on alert for any unusual sounds. For days, they scoured the forest, but found nothing. The disappearances continued, and hope began to wane. One moonlit night, while the forest was eerily silent, Oliver perched on a high branch, straining to hear anything out of the ordinary. Suddenly, he detected a faint, rhythmic thumping sound coming from deep within the forest. It was unlike anything he had ever heard before. Excited but cautious, Oliver decided to investigate. He flew quietly through the trees, following the sound to its source. It led him to an old, abandoned quarry on the edge of the forest. There, he discovered a hidden entrance to a network of underground tunnels. Oliver's heart pounded with both fear and excitement. He knew he had to explore the tunnels, but he also knew he couldn't do it alone. He hurried back to the council to share his discovery. When Oliver told the council about the underground tunnels, the elders listened with growing interest. Badger nodded thoughtfully. "This could be the key to solving the mystery," he said. "We need a plan." Orion stepped forward, placing a wing on Oliver's shoulder. "You have done well, son. Now, we need to explore those tunnels and find out what is happening to our friends." A team of the forest's bravest animals was assembled, including Orion, a swift fox named Rusty, a clever raccoon named Pippin, and of course Oliver. They prepared for their journey with provisions and a plan to communicate through a series of owl hoots and fox barks. As they ventured into the dark, winding tunnels, Oliver's sharp hearing guided them through the labyrinthine passageways. The deeper they went, the stronger the rhythmic thumping became. It echoed through the tunnels, growing louder and more ominous with each step. After hours of navigating the tunnels, the team reached a large cavern illuminated by a flickering, unnatural light. What they saw left them stunned. A group of large, menacing creatures, resembling oversized moles with sharp claws and glowing eyes, were digging tunnels and capturing the forest animals. These creatures, known as the tunnelers, had been driven from their own territory by deforestation and had come to the old forest in search of a new home. Desperate and aggressive, they had resorted to capturing the forest animals for food. Orion signaled for the team to retreat and regroup. Back at the surface, they discussed their next move. "We can't defeat them with brute force," Orion said. "We need a plan that uses our strengths." Rusty, the fox, suggested a diversion to distract the tunnelers while the others rescued the captured animals. Pippin, The raccoon proposed using his dexterity to set traps, but it was Oliver who came up with the key part of the plan. "I can use my hearing to track their movements and warn you of any danger," he said. "We need to work together and outsmart them." The team returned to the tunnels, each member ready to play their part. Rusty led the diversion, darting through the tunnels and causing chaos among the tunnelers. Pippin set traps to slow them down, while Orion and Oliver moved stealthily towards the chamber where the captured animals were held. Oliver's keen hearing proved invaluable. He detected the tunnelers' movements and signaled to the others when it was safe to move. As they reached the chamber, they found the captured animals huddled together, frightened but unharmed. Working quickly and quietly, Orion and Oliver freed the captives. But just as they were about to make their escape, the tunnelers realized what was happening. A fierce chase ensued, with the tunnelers closing in on the fleeing animals. With the tunnelers hot on their heels, the team raced through the tunnels. Rusty and Pippin used their speed and agility to create obstacles, buying precious time. Oliver's sharp ears picked up the sounds of the tunnelers' approach, allowing them to stay one step ahead. As they neared the exit, the tunnelers launched a final, desperate attack. Orion and Rusty fought bravely to hold them off, but it was Oliver who turned the tide. Using his hearing, he detected a weak spot in the tunnel wall. With a determined cry, he called out to Pippin, who quickly set a trap. The trap triggered a collapse of the tunnel wall, blocking the tunnelers and giving the rescuers enough time to escape. They emerged into the forest, breathing the fresh air and basking in the moonlight. The forest animals rejoiced at the safe return of their friends. Oliver, once considered the weakest and most insignificant, was hailed as a hero. His keen hearing and quick thinking had saved the day, and the other animals now saw him in a new light. The council decided to approach the tunnelers with a proposal for coexistence. With the help of the wise old badger, they negotiated a truce, offering the tunnelers a place in the forest where they could live peacefully without threatening the other animals. Oliver's journey had transformed him from an underdog into a respected and admired member of the community. His bravery and unique abilities had shown everyone that true strength comes in many forms, and that even the smallest and most unlikely hero can make a difference. Years passed, and the story of Oliver the Owl became a legend in the old forest. Animals would gather around the grand oak tree, listening in awe as the tale of the little owl who saved the forest was recounted. Oliver himself grew into a wise and respected elder, always ready to lend an ear and offer guidance. His keen hearing continued to serve him well, helping him to detect changes in the forest and keep his friends safe. The old forest thrived in peace and harmony, a testament to the courage and determination of a little owl named Oliver. His legacy lived on, inspiring future generations to embrace their unique gifts and believe in their ability to make a difference. And so, the legend of Oliver, the little owl who could, was passed down through the ages, a timeless reminder that even the smallest among us can achieve greatness.